This book got me back into reading again. And I don't mean that like in some kind of casual way. I mean it like I've read 3 books in 3 months and I'm already starting the 4th one. And for the first time ever, I actually don't want to stop. I used to consider myself a pretty big reader back in middle school. I was hooked on Maximum Ride and The Hunger Games. And slowly, as I got older and got into high school, reading became more of like a chore. And the only reading I genuinely enjoyed was reading comics. And the one time that changed for me was when I was reading Dune. And once I finished it, I plowed through Dune Messiah and Children of Dune. I absolutely love Dune, and it is one of my favorite universes and one of my favorite IPs. But then I got to God Emperor of Dune, and I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, and I know it's kind of a hot take, but I could not finish God Emperor of Dune. It kind of felt more like a chore and like homework. Maybe one day I'll pick it back up, but for the time being, I kind of just stopped reading. Until a couple months ago, I was at Barnes & Noble with my brother, the biggest reader I know. He definitely owns a library at this point. He pointed out Red Rising and said that a buddy of his, an even bigger reader than him, said that this was one of the best, if not the best series he has ever read. And that kind of just blew my mind. And I didn't buy it that day, but the thought kind of stuck with me for a couple of weeks. And then Absolute Batman, The Abomination came out, and I decided to go to Barnes & Noble. I picked up the comic, and then I decided to give Red Rising a try. I went in so skeptical, thinking that there's absolutely no way that this series can live up to this kind of hype. And man, I was so wrong, and I have never been happier to be so wrong. I was sucked into this world immediately. And if anyone who doesn't know what Red Rising is about, it's about a future dystopian where people are divided into classes called colors. Golds are at the very top and they're treated like gods, and reds are at the very bottom and they're treated like dirt. That's kind of the most basic form I can kind of give you. Darrow, the main character, he is a red, and he basically just wants to live a very simple, peaceful life, but his enemies bring him war. Darrow finds out that his whole society is built on a lie, and that comes with a world that is actually really dark. Mars' gravity is not like Earth's gravity, and so whenever these people would get hanged, they're like dangling and suffocating. Their necks don't break. They don't do anything like that. So they allow loved ones to go up and grab the feet of the people that are hanging and yank to snap their neck. Now, I did, however, give Red Rising an 8 out of 10. And I know that might sound like a big red flag, especially since I'm saying that this is one of the best series I've ever read. Now, the reason why I give Red Rising 8 out of 10 is because once they get to the Institute, the people are divided into teams, and it's like divide and conquer, teens killing other teens, kind of things like that. It kind of felt very Hunger Game-esque, but there's definitely enough going on in the Red Rising world where it can separate itself from Hunger Games. But I don't feel like it separated itself enough like the other books did. And it kind of just gave it an 8 out of 10. Still really good, a really good book. But then I started to read Golden Sun. Golden Sun is the level of writing I was expecting from someone saying that this is the best series they've ever read. It gives you literally everything. You're getting full-on space wars. You're getting ODST/Helldiver-like drop ships. You're getting political maneuvering. You're getting political alliances. You're getting betrayals. Everything. This was the book that got me hooked. There's a moment in Golden Sun where after I was done reading, I had to take a break. I had to just stare at a wall because of what just happened. It was the most intense book I have ever read. And Pierce Brown's writing in Golden Sun is nothing but a masterpiece. Golden Sun is amazing. I have never been addicted to a book like I ever have with Golden Sun. The worst moment, but also the best moment in the book is the ending. Oh my God. I put the book down and I just sat and stared at my computer screen because I was in front of my computer at the time. And I wanted to scream. I immediately grabbed my keys, went to Barnes & Noble and got the 3rd book because the cliffhanger in this book is absolutely gut-wrenching and it goes for the jugular. And the craziest part about me going to go get Morning Star was I didn't just get Morning Star. I got all of them because I knew I was in after this book. And I even got an EO dedicated book. It's so nice. It's a collectible. I had to get it. At this moment, I knew that I was gonna love this series and I was gonna be in it for the long haul. I gave Golden Star a 10 out of 10, and I believe it's an absolute masterpiece. Morning Star, however, is my favorite book so far. I love Morning Star. It's a little slower than Golden Sun and Red Rising, but when it's slow, when it takes its time, you are with these characters that you're just not realizing that you've been with them for about 3 books, and you really start to understand them a lot better. There's moments to breathe between each fight, between each big event that's about to happen. And those are my favorite parts. Now, don't get me wrong, there was still a lot of action, there was still a lot of blood, a lot of death. There was so much in this book. And it is my favorite. It is my favorite by far. I give this book a solid 11 out of 10. It's so good. And there was a moment, oh, it's so sad, I can't even say it, but one of my favorite characters dies. And recently, I had to do a lot of traveling for my job, and I wanted to read this book. I wanted to read it so badly, but when I'm driving for a job, I really couldn't do that. So I bought the audiobook, and I didn't buy just the audiobook. I bought the dramatic version of the audiobook. And what comes with the dramatic version is that you're getting multiple voice actors, you're getting production value, you're getting music, sound effects, basically everything. It's basically everything but a visual thing. They call it a movie in your mind. It's a movie in your mind is what it is. But when I was driving, I got to the part where my favorite character died in the audiobook. And let me tell you, I heard one of my favorite characters die in HD. I heard the blood, I heard gurgling of blood. I heard the stab of the razor. I heard the characters crying. I heard Darrow screaming, weeping because that character died. And oh my God, my heart, it's hurting right now as I'm talking about it. But let me tell you, if you were thinking about getting into audiobooks or anything like that as well, try the dramatic version. It's really good. Now, the only sad thing about it is that it's split into 2 parts, so you would have to buy them separately to get one full book. But honestly, I think it's pretty much worth it. I think it's really worth it if you're kind of just looking for something new. If you haven't read a book in a while, I haven't read a book in a while either until this year. I'm fixing to start my 4th book, and I haven't done that since I was 11 or 12. And if you guys are looking to get back into reading, give this series a try. I was very skeptical at first as well, but it's genuinely really good, and I love these books. And maybe this is your sign to get back into reading and give the Red Rising saga a try.